right, it's Way Up. I'm Angela Yee, and it is time for some Yee tea. So let's talk about some of these Diddy updates. Now, Kim Porter's father has given his thoughts on the video of Diddy assaulting Cassie in that hallway of a hotel. He spoke to Rolling Stone, and Jake Porter said that video made him wonder what happened to his daughter while she was in a relationship with Diddy. He said, "You can say I was disgusted with the video, and I wouldn't treat my enemy like that. It was despicable. I couldn't believe it. I was in Vietnam, and I wouldn't do that to my enemy." Now, he also did say he never saw Diddy assault his daughter to that extent, but he did wonder what he could have done to her behind closed doors, and that his outlook on Diddy has also changed due to the graphic video. He didn't think that Diddy would commit such a heinous act or that he could stoop that low. He said, "I imagine it surprised a lot of people. I wouldn't even do a dog like that. My heart goes out to Cassie." In addition to that, a singer, Niykee Heaton, has come out. Now, Niykee Heaton was signed to All Def Digital about 10 years ago, and she is no longer in the music business, but she talks about a story about a time that she was in the studio with Kanye and Diddy, and she alleges that she was assaulted at that time. And she also said that she's not getting anything out of telling this story. She's left the music business. She's living on a farm. Here's what she had to say.
I'm already seeing people being like, this is cap. What do I have to gain? I'm in a farm in the middle of nowhere. I'm not in the industry anymore. I'm not filing a lawsuit, so I'm not getting paid. I'm not looking for clout, because who gives a about me? So why would I lie about this? This has been 9.5 years since this happened to me.
Now, she did have a song called Bad Intentions featuring the Migos that people really knew, and she did a lot of hip-hop covers back in the day. That's actually how she got discovered by her manager, LP, Lauren, who, by the way, is the person that was Diddy's assistant who is suing, who is Kanye's assistant who is suing Kanye now. So that's how all of this ties together. The woman, Lauren, was Niykee Heaton's assistant. Was her manager, and now she was Kanye's assistant. She's the one that she said Kanye hired her, paid her $1 million a year, made her quit her OnlyFans, and now she's suing him. So they know each other really well. Now here is what Niykee Heaton had to say about the drinks when she got to the studio. She said there were a bunch of women in the studio, and she said the drinks she could tell were laced. She was only 19 years old at the time.
2 sips, and I watch her face flush. And I was like, it's already hitting her. Like 100%, I just knew that the drinks were all laced with something. And I go to get my phone where Kanye put it on one of the speakers. And as I'm going to get it, I turn and my manager's walking out. And I'm like, no. She's like, it's right there. I'm just going to go to the bathroom. And she walks out. And all of a sudden, I realize that I'm in the studio with Diddy and Kanye. And they're both off their and there's 3 other men.
All right, now she starts telling the story about how at first she wasn't scared when they were approaching her because there were other people in the studio and she was trying to play it off. Here's what Niykee Heaton alleges happens next.
So they start trying, they're pawing at me. They're both drunk, probably on something else. I'm like, you guys stop, stop. And they're getting to the point where they have ripped my shirt off. I'm almost fully exposed at this point. And I look over to this man asking for help and I literally mouth the word help. And we lock eyes and he looks away. And I look to his engineer next and he looks down at his phone and starts texting.
So in other words, she felt that nobody in that studio was going to help her or save her in that situation. She did manage to slip out the door. She hid in an empty, dark studio for 20 minutes, she claims. And then after it was over, she went to go find her friend Lauren, her manager, and saw that Lauren was being assaulted by Kanye, she alleges. And then after the assault was over, they got in an Uber and left. She said Lauren doesn't remember anything because she was drugged. And so this is yet another person who's coming forward with her story. So we'll see how this plays out. But again, she's not trying to sue or do anything. She just wanted to tell her story. And it's a 30-minute live video that she did that people were watching as she did this. All right, well, that is your Yee tea. And when we come back, we have Under the Radar. These are the stories that are flying under the radar, but you need to know about them anyway. One of them has to do with hair loss and the drugs that people take in order to get their hair back. Would you trade your sex drive for your hair? It's Way Up.